forced the first football match of the Olympic Games to be delayed by more than an hour. Morocco had been dramatic scenes in Saint Etienne after Morocco defeated, upset Argentina. Don't forget, Argentina are two-time Olympic champions, and it took really dramatic scenes before that result could be confirmed. But joining us now is Andrew Olsen. Andrew Olsen is a global football expert. Thank you for joining us, Andrew. Dramatic scenes in France. Not how everybody expected to see the Olympic men's football event to kick off. But let's leave the controversy aside first. But how would you rate that as an opening game for the Olympic Games?
Well, thank you for having me on this evening. I would say that's about as good as it gets if you're on the Olympic organizing committee to build up buzz for this tournament. What drama? Certainly something I've never seen in football before.
Well, now let's move to obviously the elephant in the room. Why did it take, so long for VAR to actively show that the Argentine potential equaliser was offside? Then again, where was the security? How did everything manage to break down, law and order manage to break down?
Well, as we've seen, Moroccans, they're particularly passionate about their football. True. And we saw a couple scenes earlier in the match where, they're pitch invaders and things of that nature. But once the flares, the fireworks started coming on, that really created a situation where it was deemed unsafe for the players. As for the VAR, I'm still a little confused about it myself. I went in thinking it was a 2-2 result. And then I heard a couple hours later that the result had changed. And I think, they just hadn't had the time to review it when everything happened, when the chaos happened. And so that was when they decided to overturn it, was when they had the time and when the players were back out on the pitch.
Great result for Morocco, but Argentina are also be kicking themselves as well, because looking at the teams at this Olympic Games, they were obviously clear favorites, two-time Olympic champions, no Brazil in the mix as well. But looking at the other teams that are here as well, we have France, we have Spain there as well. Which other teams do you think can possibly win an Olympic gold medal here? Or are you looking at the Africans? We have Morocco in the mix, there's Guinea there as well, and don't forget Mali.
Yeah, I would say France really comes in with the hype of being the favorites. Obviously, they did not get quite the strong squad that they expected, maybe a few months ago when we were hearing about maybe Griezmann and Mbappe were going to come in, but they're still very strong with Michael Olise, Mateta, the two players from Crystal Palace. I think Spain are strong. Morocco look excellent. They look like a very talented squad. All their players based in Europe. Very strong team. And I think watch out for Japan. I think Japan can really make some noise in this competition. Interesting.
Now, I have to ask you this question, Andrew. Football has always been like pretty much the blue ribbon event. And with the issues regarding, Israel's participation at these Olympic Games, a lot of people are not happy about that. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but do you share the sentiments, or do you kind of understand why a lot of people are saying that, going by what Israel is doing at home, that they shouldn't be part of the Olympic movement? Do you kind of understand why they're saying that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you see the movement all over the world. It's a very divisive issue, always, Israel and Palestine. It's really a difficult question because it seems to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. We're seeing Russia. They aren't competing in international football tournaments. And then at the same time, Israel is. It's definitely one of those issues that comes down to politics, and we don't have quite the time to get into all of that. But you raise a very good question, Tunde, and it's certainly something that's really evaluated, I'd say, on a case-by-case basis, and the criteria isn't consistent in these cases.
True. But finally, before I let you go, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just want to ask you, which players would you be looking out for at the men's football event? It looks like an exciting tournament already. We've seen one great game today. We've already seen Iraq playing out a goalless draw with Ukraine, Guinea losing to New Zealand by 2-1. Which players are you looking out for at this football event?
Well, I mentioned the French players, Olise, Mateta. I think when you look at Spain, I'm really interested to see how Pau Cubarsí does, the 17-year-old Barcelona player. I think I'm excited to see how the United States plays, of course. We have a couple of very good players, like Paxton Aronson. But I would say, I think Uzbekistan has a really talented striker. I don't have his name on me at the moment, but I think there's going to be some really talented players. I'm really eager to see how Spain does, and I think we're get. I think France is really going to show their quality as the tournament goes on, and yeah, I think there's a few players that are really going to make an impact and maybe make a move to a bigger club. In Europe, we see a couple free agent players as well who are looking to kind of restart their careers. You mentioned Guinea, Naby Keita, a player like that who wants to kind of refire his career in Europe.
Okay, Andrew Olson, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. It's been an absolute pleasure, but I'm sorry I have to give you some bad news as we leave. France are currently hammering the United States of America by 3-0 right now. So it's not the very best starts for the USA, but hopefully they can pick up in the remaining games in Group A, where they're grouped alongside Guinea and New Zealand. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, Andrew. I hope you won't take it out on us. I hope you can join us subsequently on the show. Thank you.